Welcome. This video is here to provide you with information on how to collect your biological sample and return it to the Family Life Project. Scientists are learning a lot about the bacteria that lives inside us and keeps us healthy. By providing us this stool sample, you'll help us learn much more about the bacteria that keeps us healthy and how it works to improve our health and our lives. And in this video, we're going to walk through the contents of the package that you will have received in the mail. This is going to contain information such as how to collect your stool sample, the questions that we're going to ask you to fill out, how to return everything in the mail, the payment that you will receive, and what to do if you have any questions. Okay, so to start with, we're going to ask that you select a Sunday, a Monday, or a Tuesday to collect your sample. This is going to give us enough time to receive it in the mail on a day that the mail will deliver it to the offices when there's somebody there to receive it. We need you to put it in the mail as quickly as possible. If you're able to do so later the same day, that would be great, or the next day would be fine. Now, what you're going to do when the package that you have received is going to contain a variety of objects here. So, pull those out. First, you're going to have a baggie that's going to contain a lot of the actual materials that you'll use to collect the stool sample. And you're going to get a series of pieces of paper that include information about how to collect the sample. There's information about how to collect the sample, a yellow form that you're going to use to answer some questions about your health recently, and then finally a form that's going to give you some more information about how to mail the sample. And lastly, there will be an envelope that is prepaid and pre-addressed for you to place everything into the mail. So this kit is the most important part of the process, and it's going to come in a Ziploc bag that you will open, and that's going to contain a few items in and of itself. Inside of this is going to be a paper product that you can place over your toilet that will allow you to capture the stool so that you can have access to it without having to reach into the toilet. When you're done, this is flushable. This empty bag you'll use to place your sample in when you're done. And importantly, this is the product that you're going to place that sample in. So if we open this bag here, you'll see that there's a packet of information as well as this test tube with the purple top. You're going to unscrew this purple top and place the item upright on your counter. Inside this kit, you will also find a spatula that you can use to collect the sample from the paper product in your toilet. Now, once you do that, you do not want to change anything about this yellow cap. You're simply trying to add the product to the top of the yellow cap, filling it up as much as possible just in this top area here. Once that's done, you'll place this down, screw the purple cap back on tightly, and shake vigorously. You hear that sound, and there is a metal ball at the bottom that ensures that the liquid and the sample get mixed in together effectively. Once that's done, you're done with everything you need from there. You can wash your hands and place the product in this bag. All you need to do is then remove this blue film and the bag will seal on its own. Make sure to leave this towelette inside the bag because that will absorb any extra moisture or wetness that might have gotten on the tube while it's in the mail. If necessary, if this product is not efficient for you, we also will include this small spoon that you can use if you need that for collection. Now, once you receive this, you will get these instructions in the mail that have step-by-step visual pictures of the instructions that I just described quickly to you. There is also a video online from the manufacturer that the link will be included here that you can go view if you have additional questions. I want to point out that your tube here has a scan code on the bottom, and that's how we're going to use to identify you as the person who provided this sample. There's no need to place your name on the tube or on the bag. We have already identified it prior to mailing it to you. That's how we can keep your privacy protected during this mailing process. Now that you've collected your sample, we have a few questions that we'd like to ask you about your health recently that we need you to answer on this yellow form, and the yellow form will be included when you mail the sample back to the lab. So as you'll notice here in the upper right-hand corner, you will see a similar scan code to the one that was on your test tube. This is matched to that scan code, and this is again how we're able to pair all of this information with you, and so we know who to provide the payment to. You don't need to write your name on any of these forms. All of your privacy is being protected through this scan code. At the top portion here is going to say staff use only. That information is how we'll track the work that we've done to mail and receive this form. And then the series of questions that we'll have you answer, I will read along, and if you have any questions, you can always send an email that I will provide to you at the end of this video. The first thing that we're going to ask for is the date, month, and year that you collected this sample. We're also going to ask for the time and an indication of AM or PM. Question number 2 asks if you are currently sick, and that can be with any kind of ailment. If you say yes, then we do ask that you give us any kind of indication. I have a cold or the flu or some other illness. Question 3 will ask if you've had any changes in your bowel movements in the past 30 days, and we ask that you would check all that apply. The first option is diarrhea, the second is constipation, the third is more frequent bowel movements, the fourth is less frequent bowel movements, the fifth is change in consistency, and if there have been no changes in your bowel movements in the past month, you can go ahead and check on the last item that says no changes. In question 4, we ask that you write down the names of any medications that you've taken in the past 30 days, even if these are not prescription medications. If they're medications you've taken over the counter or things that you've bought at the grocery store or drugstore, please just write the names on this form. If you haven't taken any medications in the last 30 days, you can circle A, which says none. Number 5 asks if in the past 30 days you have taken any antifungal medication. So even if this is something that you've listed on number 4, we ask that you indicate yes on number 5 and give us the dates that you have taken that medication and the name of the medication. If you haven't, you can select no, which is the first option there. Number 6 asks about the last 90 days. This is a little bit of a longer time frame, that's 3 months, and asks if you've taken any antibiotic medication. That would be if you had an infection or had other procedures that your doctor thought would be valuable to take antibiotics for. If you say yes, which is the second option here, then we ask that you list the dates or the approximate dates that you were taking that medication and the name of the medication, any information you can remember about the dose and frequency of that medication. Number 7 asks for the name of any medications that you've taken for acid reflux or heartburn in the last 90 days. Again, that's over a 3-month period of time. If you haven't taken any of these medications, you can circle A that says none. If you have, then we ask that you just report the names, even if they were names that you reported previously in question number 4. Number 8 will ask if you currently smoke. The first option is no, the second option is yes. Number 9 asks if any parent or current caregiver is a smoker. You can answer yes or no. Number 10 asks if you have been a smoker in the past. If you don't currently smoke, but at a previous time you were a smoker, then we ask that you say yes. Has your parent or caregiver been a smoker in the past? That's number 11. So even if they are no longer a smoker, if they have smoked in the past, we ask that you answer that. Number 12 will ask if you smoke e-cigarettes, yes or no. And number 13 will ask if your parent or guardian or caretaker smokes e-cigarettes. Finally, number 14 is going to ask you to provide the description that best matches the stool collection that you provided into this test tube. For your convenience, there are images and descriptions along the side of these images, and we ask that you choose the one that fits best with what your stool sample was today on the moment that you provided in this test tube. Choose from the number of options here and enter that in this item for number 14. Now that you've completed the questionnaire form, You will have one more form here that's just for your information, and it's going to give you instructions on how to return these items in the mail. Basically, the only things that we need back are your sealed biospecimen sample in this plastic biohazard form or envelope, and these yellow forms. As I told you before, when you pull out your kit, you'll find that you have an envelope already pre-addressed. Yours will have the address on it of the lab in New York where this will go. It will have all the payment information on it, and the return address will all be taken care of. There's nothing that you need to write on or do to the envelope. You're simply going to put your yellow paper inside the envelope along with your biospecimen, and then peel off the label and seal the envelope so that it's ready to be mailed. Once you've done that, it's ready to be mailed. It can be placed in your home mailbox or placed in any blue United States Postal Service mailbox to be mailed. And once we receive your sample in the mail, we'll scan that code, and that'll let us know who provided the sample, and we'll begin preparing the payment for you. Then we're going to be sending you a $50 e-code through email. If you have any questions or you need to provide us with an updated email address, I'll let you know who to contact in just a moment. We will process this information as quickly as we can, but please allow 1 to up to 3 weeks for us to prepare the e-code and have it emailed to you. If you have any questions for us at all about your payment or any part of the procedure, you can send an email to Charlotte Kurtz. Charlotte can be reached at the following email address: thefamilylifeproject@nyulangone.org. That's THEFAMILYLIFEPROJECT at NYULANGONE.org. Thanks again, and we really appreciate your participation in the Family Life Project.